Good morning, garden people. It's early. It's about 7 a.m. So everything's pretty peaceful right now. No trucks driving around or lawnmowers or anything like that. We had a big rain last night. Let me see if I could show you. Out past the compost through the trees, you can see at least a couple of deer out there. They seem to lay in that part of the yard a lot. Got my coffee this morning, and we are heading out to check on things. We had a big storm last night. I'm surprised that the plants don't look torn up or destroyed. Let's unlock our little gate here. Wow, just going in, seeing the echinacea. There are a couple more blooms on here. Not open yet. We're going to be making some garden art soon. And I brought this little trellis thing over so that the moonflowers can grow on that. And it also gives the tomato plants something to lean against, although I'm probably going to end up staking them somehow. I don't know. We shall see. And it's so funny. I have been so baffled by this pot here because, like I mentioned in my last video, I put some seeds in there for a plant that the seed packet was helichrysum. I don't even know if, hang on. Let me put this down. But I kept looking at this plant and I thought, that's so crazy. It looks like a squash or a zucchini or a cucumber or something, not a flower. But I was giving it a chance to show itself, and I don't know how this got in here. Maybe I put a seed in here and I don't remember it, or maybe I dropped one. But this plant, it's in such a small pot. But this is going to be our experiment. We're just going to let it grow and see what happens. There has been so much growth in the last week. And of course you can see from the rain how the flowers are laying over, the gomphrina's laying on the ground. Oh, I need to pick that jalapeno and take it in. I was so annoyed. I came out to get one of the peppers off of this and there was a hole in it. So I've put little organza bags on the 2 peppers that are out here now to see if that helps. See, a couple of tomatoes I'm gonna have to get today. I may end up just moving this chair because the spiders are they keep building around it, and I don't want to mess with the spiders, and I also don't want to sit in a chair with a big spider right behind my head. I've got to get these planted in the ground or somewhere. This is not good. Look how tall they are. And these beans, I'm just going to leave them in these pots and see what happens. But they're starting to grow up this way. These butternut squash look good. I did put some aluminum foil around the base. It's around it loosely to hopefully prevent the squash borer. And now I'm starting to hear trash trucks and dogs barking. Right on cue. These beans are really taking off and climbing up. So that's exciting. You can see back here we've got the moonflower, but then the cantaloupe is starting to intertwine, so I may have to move that moonflower to another spot so the cantaloupe can really do its thing. And it is growing up the fence just like I wanted it to. I did weave some jute or twine in here to hold these tomato plants up. I'm going to have to add another layer already, or go up one more because they're getting taller probably by the hour. I was going to say by the day, but they're really growing. Hopefully they will do well. I just love to be out here after a rain. This eggplant looks great. The leaves are so healthy. It's really tall and it's starting to get some flowers on it. And I think this cucumber might be looking a little bit better. I'm just hoping and praying I don't get any kind of squash borers or bugs that come out here and ruin everything. There is a cucumber right there, and I've been coming out and picking, and there's another one right there. I've been coming out and picking one every day. These are little pickling cucumbers. And I've had a cucumber sandwich on some gluten-free bread 2 days in a row, which was really good. That little eggplant there looks like something ate a little bit of the skin on the outside. I'm gonna let it grow and see what happens. This plant is not nearly as big and doesn't look as healthy as the other one, but it's got fruit on it. So I don't know if there's something I should do. And this tomato plant is really growing. It's gone way up here through the fence, but that's good. That's gonna give me a place to, it'll be like a stake, but not really a stake. And these Space Masters, it feels to me like they're being kind of slow growing, but they're not in a huge pot. Maybe I need to put some compost or something on those. And then down here, we have a couple of Marketmore cucumbers. We have a cantaloupe here too, actually. And this plant, so this zucchini here is finally starting to look healthier. I put a sunflower in here because I have not been able to get them to grow anywhere. It's looking really spindly. But you can see the zucchini in here. It was very slow getting started. And the first few plants just shriveled up. Not plants, fruits. Got a little bit of aluminum foil around that. This is part of that's ink where I've been working in my workshop, paint and dyes and stains, because I make books and journals. This is part of one of those just shower things that you buy. I forget what they're called, like a scrubby thing that I opened up. And what is this? That looks like an ant. And I had put that around the base just to see if it would help with the slugs. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just really hoping, really hoping that I get some fruit. Here's one of the little, so maybe you can see, there's one of the ones that looks all shrivelly. And we've got the loofah gourds that are finally making their way up the fence. And some butternut squash. I am truly hoping that I get some fruit off of this. I think that's a butternut squash that's growing over where I thought the helichrysum would come through the soil, but no. Oh, there's a pine cone in here. Man, these things, they fall from the trees. They do a lot of damage when they fall, and look, there's a slug. There's so many of these out here. I mean, I would just be so happy for these to grow and to get some butternut squash. Last year, I was so excited to see one fruit forming. It was the first one. I only had one plant, and all of a sudden, the plant just shriveled up. And it was the squash borer. So I've just been keeping an eye on these. It's so hard to get ahead of something like that. There's not a lot you can do. I did put aluminum foil around that one too. So we're having a little visitor here. Hi, baby. Good morning. Good morning. You're so pretty. I know, I'm not gonna hurt you. I wish I had a snack for you. But that's probably not a good idea, right? Hey, baby. I know, I just heard another one snort. I don't know where it is. Hey, pretty. How you doing? Hi. They are really pretty little creatures. You have to be careful. They're so tame in this area. We don't feed them, but they do come up close like they sort of expect to be fed. And it makes you feel like you could get close to them, but they're really strong. Their legs are strong, so you wouldn't want one to jump up on you or to get spooked and come towards you, although usually they run the other way. Coming back through here, this is a narrow little spot, but hey, I'm working with what I've got. This oregano needs to be pulled out. This oregano is flowering. I like it for the bees and the butterflies. We were going to use this to cook before it flowered, and it doesn't taste or smell like oregano anymore. It smelled more like a mint. I was really surprised. But then I read that that can happen, so I'm gonna pull this out and replace it, I think. Maybe I haven't harvested it enough. Well, that new piece smells more like oregano. No, but no, once you crush it really good, it almost smells like mint. It's really strange. And yes, there are mums that are trying to bloom. I should cut these back, and this whole plant probably needs to be taken out and repotted. This space could be used for food instead of a 4-year-old mom. We've got the pitcher plants here. They get water in them and trap bugs. This is making its way up. And here you can see these beans are growing up. This will be the bean house, I guess, instead of the greenhouse. I normally grow my little greens out here, and I guess I could replant. I need to replant this. Not I could, I'm going to. I want some microgreens out here because this is really nothing to look at this point. And same with this. When it gets hot, it's hard to do the greens. They just get bitter really quick and they bolt fast. And let's see, so these snapdragons are trying to grow. I should have started those way sooner. Look at this one. Oh, I know one of the things I want to show you, and it is around here. It is so beautiful. So this is the jumbo pink banana squash. This is the one seedling that did well. I'm so afraid something's gonna get it because I want to see how it grows and what kind of fruit it ends up having. Well, lot of the borage plants are just laying over on the ground. Oh well. And then this, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I don't want those getting tangled up together. Right, I don't want my moonflower tangled up with my squash. Maybe I better read about that. And I was also listening to someone, I forget which gardener it is, talking about how you don't want beans and carrots together. And of course that's what I've done over here, but we're just gonna let it go and see what happens. Good morning. The nasturtium are pretty. I wonder if it's okay to just pull this off. Such a pretty color of blue. Looks like there's some chives trying to grow over here. Maybe my goal today will be to find a place for these plants. I'm almost out of space. I may have to create a little space in the front yard. And over through here we have the snapdragons. That petunia is really pretty. I like the way it's just trailing out of the planter. And we have the beautiful fern. That little piece of the bleeding heart is not looking so great. I'm gonna give it a chance though and see what happens. This one, however, looks pretty good. There's actually a tomato back there next to the fence and a morning glory right next to it. I should probably pull that out. But maybe it'll grow around this and go up there with the petunia. That might be pretty. And I see my little peach is still hanging on. Get the pine straw out of there. Poor little guy. Or girl. Let's go right across this little pathway and look at the pollinator garden. Here is another huge, spreading, sprawling oregano that doesn't taste like oregano. I'm gonna be pulling this out. It's kind of just taking over and we can't even use it. I've appreciated the flowers on it because the bees do like it. We have this red hot poker that's blooming. The yarrow might need to be cut back a little bit. And then this penstemon needs to be deadheaded. It was really pretty. It's mostly bloomed out and we can see new growth trying to start down here, so I will cut that back today. And it looks like this Mexican petunia is trying to bloom again. I love this, it's so pretty. I would like to have more of that. And there's some water standing in here. I may need to figure out a way to put holes in the bottom of this large planter because I don't think I have proper drainage in the bottom. And look at the slugs. I want to show you a plant here that has been around for a long time and moved from yard to yard. This is a soapwort and it actually came from the house of one of my great aunts on my maternal grandmother's side. So she had this growing in her yard and my mother got some of this and gave some to me, and I have moved it to 2 different houses. It has some pink blooms on it. It will at some point. It tends to fall over. I thought it was going to stand up better this year, but that's okay. I'm just so glad to have it, especially knowing it came from my great aunt. And this butterfly bush is so pretty. It's starting to have some really pretty blooms on it. Before we end the video, I like to show you what the garden looks like from one end to another. The sun's not out yet, so it's not really bright and glistening yet, but we did have a great rain last night. Lots of growth this week. I'm really excited. Starting to get a little bit of food, and I hope soon we will be to the point where we're harvesting every day. And then looking back from this end, we have had a lot of growth. And I'm really excited. This is a tiny, tiny little space, but it makes me so happy. And I hope to just keep learning from this space and maybe even expanding my space to have more food. I think it's good if we can to focus on growing some of our own food, especially with the prices of everything, and just being able to be more self-sufficient. And please stay away, squash borer bugs. I don't want you here. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in today. I will be back with another update and maybe a DIY project this week. And from my little fence to yours, happy gardening.